Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. Hey, I'm a minute late. I want to acknowledge that I am late. I needed hot starter fluid this morning. I'll tell you something. The heat is getting to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I really kind of think of myself as, I don't know, Superwoman. Yeah, okay. Well, apparently Superwoman's kryptonite is heat. I've lived in the desert for 7.5 years now, maybe more. I don't know. This is the first time I can remember the heat just knocking it all out of me. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and it's getting hotter. Whatever it is, I'm tired. Yeah. However, I did, thanks to my friend Sherry, who gave me a book and she said, "This is awesome. You have to read it." I did read and I read most of the day yesterday. It was kind of nice. Well, I can't say most of the day. Most of my free moments of the day, I sat and read a book, and that was kind of cool. I did play tennis. It was just under 100 when we quit, but it felt like 110. No kidding. It was really hot yesterday. I had company. I got to see my niece and her husband, my nephew. Wendy and Alex stopped by to visit on their way from Arizona back to their house in California. It's really fun living not far off a main freeway because it means that when people are traveling through, I'm like the perfect pit stop. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call myself. Sandy Pit Stop. That's going to be it. So just keep in mind that if you're traveling to or from California and you're on Highway 10, I'm right here. Stop and say hi. Use the bathroom, have a cup of coffee, pet the dog. Yeah, stop in. It's an awesome place to stop. Woo! It's Monday. Monday. I love that day. Um, Tracy says it's her favorite day of the week. I can't say it's my favorite day of the week. I kind of like Wednesdays. Yeah, because I can remember all the fun stuff that just happened and know what I'm looking forward to on the weekend. Good morning, Indy. Oh, speaking of which, um, today is John Dillinger's birthday. You know, the bad guy, John Dillinger. He was like public enemy number one. And guess where he was born, Indy? In Indianapolis, Indiana. He's an Indy. Just saying. Just saying. Better be careful. You could become John Dillinger. Could happen. Um, okay, so I can't explain all of this to you. I'm not even going to try. And if one of you thinks you can do a succinct explanation, I'm open to learning. But apparently, June 28th, the 28th day of the 6th month, is the only perfect day in terms of the numbers of the day. It's also Tau Day, which is a day to celebrate everything mathematical. And they talk about the constant circle. It's something about circles. And good morning, Opa. It's something about circles and numbers that can only be multiplied or that can only be divided by themselves or a prime number or something. Math was never my forte. It wasn't. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm not bad at it. I just some of the concepts. When I was at UCLA freshman year, I think like maybe second quarter, third quarter, I don't know. I wanted to take a math class because I had to get it out of the way. And they had this class called Basics of Math 101. So I signed up for it and I got in. I still can't tell you what we were talking about in that class. Didn't get it at all. Apparently, there's also a math 1 and a math 2 and a math 3. And 101 is kind of like an upper division basic math. And it's not like basic math, like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, like I thought it was going to be. It was like all these theories of math. And I was so confused and so frustrated that I literally ripped up my textbook. Like I literally sat there screaming at it one day, tearing the pages. And I went to the professor for help. I had already worked with the associate professor, with the assistant. I forget the word for that. I'd already worked with him like 6 times and I wasn't getting anywhere. Oh, and did I mention that my math professor was about the best looking human being I had ever seen up to that point? Anyway, I went up to him after class and I said, look, I have been working with the assistant. I have been trying to do this. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And he said, all right, well, I'll give you some help. Come in at 3:00 or whatever it was. So I came back and he said, all right, get your book out. And I went like this. No. He said, well, we need to do some work from your book. And I said, no. And he looked at me and he said, you tore your book up, didn't you? And I said, yes. I said, how did you know? He said, because I have a little sister just like you. She even looks like you. Thank goodness he had a little sister who looked like me and I reminded him of, because he was so kind to me. He got his copy out and he worked on a few problems with me and he got almost as frustrated as I did because I was not getting it. And finally, he looks across the table at me and he said, so math may not be your strong point. I said, no, it isn't. He said, how are you at writing? He said, I said, whoops. Hey, watch that. Bailey is getting a little rambunctious with my toys. Anyway, he looked at me and he said, so you're not really good with math, are you? And I said, no. He said, how are you at writing? And I said, I'm great at writing. That's like my strong point. He said, great. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to make the midterm half problems and half essay. I know you're not going to pass the problems part. But the essay part, I think you can pass because here's what the question's going to be. And he gave me the question in advance. So I got an A on the written part and an F on the problems. And he gave me a pass in the class. Just saying. So this whole thing with Tau Day and the perfect day because of the constant, circle, number, prime, something or other. Yeah, I don't get it. Any math whizzes out there? We could use someone who could do a real explanation. Yeah, seriously, I mean, if you see a class that's called Basics of Mathematics, wouldn't you assume it was just like add, subtract, multiply, divide, maybe a touch of algebra in it, just, so you can know that it's there? I think it wasn't fair. I deserved to pass that class. Enough about morning math. It is International Body Piercing Day. Do you have any body pierces? I mean, I have my ears pierced, and it took me until I was like, I don't know, in my 40s before I did that. Yeah, piercing, it's not a thing. My people don't pierce, you know what I mean? I remember when my daughter, Donnie, graduated from high school, and she and her BFF, Melissa, went on a trip to Europe. And she was checking in periodically to let me know she was safe. And she called me from France, where they were visiting a friend of mine, as it turned out. And she sounded just awful, poor thing. And she told me she was really sick and she was sorry, but she couldn't talk because she was really sick. But she'd check in with me and let me know how she was doing. And by a few days later, she was sounding pretty good. Turns out she wasn't sick. She had her tongue pierced. And it got infected, and her tongue got so big that she could barely talk. So she and Melissa decided they would just say that she was sick, and that was why she couldn't talk. Anyway, a few days later, when she called me, the swelling had gone down, and she has not re-pierced her tongue. But she's a piercer. She has multiple ear piercings, which I guess is okay because she's a jeweler. So, she has multiple earrings. So that works for her. She's like her own showcase. She does have this tiny little diamond that goes in her nose. And I must say, it's really cute. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of like it, but not for me. Not for me. It was hard enough for me to get these ears pierced. I don't want any more holes put in my face. Sorry, just don't want to do it. Can't do it. What else? It's Caps Lock Day. Caps Lock Day. Took me a long time to learn that you only use cap locks in messages or posts when you're trying to shout. I like capital letters, so I used to type in all caps. And I remember somebody sent me a message that said, "Why are you shouting at me?" Which just cracked me up because it was a message asking me that. It's National Cerveza Day. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a lover. My daughter, my son, most people I know, they love it. They love this like cold seafood stew kind of thing. I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a stew salsa. I probably should taste it. I'd probably love it. Okay. All right. Here's my promise to you. Next time somebody says, let's order that, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to taste it. It occurs to me I might be missing something I'd really like. Because like last night we had sushi. I love sushi. I love shrimp. I like fish. I like salsa. I probably would love ceviche. Okay, that's it. You have my promise. Next time it's offered, I'm saying yes. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Stephen. Stephen wrote after my little diatribe on capital letters, it being Caps Lock Day, he wrote, "Good to know," all in capital letters. You screamer, you. Yeah. Oh, Opa doesn't like sushi. Oh, I'm such a fan. I am such a sushi fan. I love it. And I can't help it. I love sushi. It's also National Tapioca Day. Can we talk about tapioca for a minute? There's those Babo or Baba or Bobby or whatever they are drinks that have tapioca in them. It's like a tapioca drink. The thought of that, of drinking something that has the little tapioca balls in it, I can't. Here we go again, just like ceviche. I haven't had it, but the thought of it has kept me from ever trying it, right? And I love tapioca. I love tapioca. Tapioca pudding, love it. Love the little balls in it. But the thought of drinking tapioca, I don't know. I don't know. Nope, sorry. Oh, Opa is a woman of my heart when it comes to math. Yeah. What's math with the alphabet? What does that mean? Tapioca pudding is awesome. Tapioca pudding is awesome. But what about that Baba drinks, whatever those are? I keep thinking it's Boba Fett or something from Star Wars. Hey, you know what else it is? It's PalBunyan Day. Do you remember reading about Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox, Babe? I mean, he's like a real American folklore hero. Yeah. And I don't know, always being a little person, having a giant Paul Bunyan-like character to protect me from evil always sounded like a good idea. So I guess there's like whole books of stories that Paul Bunyan and Babe, their adventures. I only remember like one, but here's to you, Paul Bunyan. May you ever keep telling your stories across the world. This cracked me up. It is please take my children to work day. Yeah, not take your son to work or take your daughter to work. It is please take my children to work day. It started out, it turns out, to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek holiday that was started by stay-at-home mothers who wanted the kids out of the house for a day. Just give me a day, take the kids. So it became, please take my kids to work day. Now it's become a little bit more like, just show them what the work world is like. Being a mother is hard work, right? Am I right, ladies? Come on, I'm going to look for some agreement over here in the comment section. It's not that it's not like the best job I've ever had. It's a joyous job. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially if you're a working mom. My niece who was visiting yesterday has 2 little boys. Boys are a handful. Yeah, they are. And she has a seriously heavy corporate scientific job, works ridiculous numbers of hours, and then comes home to take care of 2 little boys and a husband. It's a lot of work. It's take my kids to work day. Move them on. Take them out. Ride. What did you say there? PalBunyan opened several restaurants in the North Woods. Babe, his ox. He opened restaurants? I don't know if you're serious or not. But what did they serve at PalBunyan's restaurants? Like big steaks, giant food? I mean, he was a giant woodsman. Yeah. Oh, you know what? In what year was it? Like 97? I mean, it was fairly recent. This is the anniversary of the fight. You know, I'm into boxing. And this is the anniversary of the boxing match where Mike Tyson bit off part of Evander Holyfield's ear. I saw that fight. Ugh, that's all I can say. I mean, but hey, it's history. You know what I mean? Happy birthday to Elon Musk, you know, the Tesla and SpaceX. He's like our very own Jetson, like right here on Earth, isn't he? Yeah. He's like, wow, crazy, like, whew, talk about thinking out of the box, huh? And in terms of people who have made a huge difference on the planet, happy, I remember you and adore you, Mel Brooks. I mean, come on. Is there anyone who's more Mel Brooks than Mel Brooks? I know his best friend's birthday is coming up and we'll celebrate Carl Reiner in it tomorrow or the next day. Interesting that their birthdays were so close together. Mel Brooks, come on, dear, Mel Brooks, my friends, Mel Brooks. I never met him. He's one of the regrets that I have. However, I believe my daughter got to meet him, and I know that my friend who was a VP or something at Rhino Records, he got to meet him when they brought back the record of the 10,000-year-old man? I'm saying it wrong. Million-year-old man, whatever it was. Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, funniest comedy record ever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there really are restaurants, PalBunyan restaurants in the Wisconsin Dells. I've been to the Wisconsin Dells. My parents used to take us now and then to the Dells when we were kids, and it was awesome because you rode in these boats that were called ducks, right? And they were called ducks because they could go on land. They had wheels, and then they'd pull the wheels in, and they would go across the water, and it was so cool. And I remember going across the country and taking Max and my mom. And I thought, wow, this will be awesome. We'll go to the Dells, because I used to go to the Dells when I was a kid. And I remember there was this house that we used to pass just before we got into town that was called Xanadu or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, the Dells was like nothing like what I remembered. It was like this total tourist town, and it was kind of cheesy, and I was so disappointed because what I remembered was like total beautiful wilderness, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. I can't tell you for sure. Oh, by the way, Marlene, I get messages from you, so I think you're watching replays, but I miss having you here with us. Just wanted to throw that out. So peace and sparkles to you, Marlene. Thank you for being part of this. The word art this morning. Do this fast as you can. Weigh it before you say it. Can I explain that just a little bit? We are so quick as human beings to react generally. And I am suggesting that instead of being quick to react, be quick to weigh what your reaction is going to be so that it becomes more of a response than a knee-jerk reaction. Check it out before you do it or say it. Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it honest? Is it timely? Like check it, go through it, make sure, and you can do that part really fast. Just as fast as you can react, you can quickly go down your list of, okay, is this really something that I need to say? Is this really something that I need to do right now? Check yourself is what I'm saying. Check yourself. Take a moment. Let me see what it says here. Water park capital of America, the Dells. Yeah, it might be, but I don't know. It was so wildernessy and campy, and now it's like, yeah, now it's kind of like so commercial. I guess that's what it is. It used to be natural and now it feels commercial. So sorry, not for me anymore. And that is not a reaction, by the way. That is a response. I have thought about it. I have decided that it's worth saying, because I want to warn people that if what they're thinking of before they go there is what I remember as a child, it ain't that anymore. Sorry, not there. Okay, my friends, it is Monday. You've got a lot to do, right? I mean, you just kind of chilled over the weekend. Now it's time to get back into the swing of things. Ba-bum-bum. I love you. I do. I needed my starter fluid today. I did have dogs in my bed this morning, though. That was kind of cool. Hey, Monday. Enjoy yours with a sip or a gulp and a smile. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.